Let's review the differences in calibrations for systems and standalone components. We need to understand the difference between standalone component calibrations and the calibration of a system of standalone components. A standalone component is a finished good assembly. Here are some examples: a V7000 sensor and an 8000 sensor and a Coriolis meter with a built-in display. Now let's look at a system of standalone components. Here is a system of two standalone components, a standalone flow sensor and a standalone display. And there are two ways that we can calibrate this system of standalone components. The two ways are either calibrate each standalone component separately or calibrate each component separately and then calibrate the two together. For the standalone component calibration of this system, first the calibration will be performed on the flow sensor, then on a benchtop the display will be calibrated to the sensor data. There will be a calibration certificate issued for the flow sensor and a separate calibration certificate issued for the display. System calibration for the V7000 and display would take three steps. First, calibrate the flow sensor, then take the data from the flow sensor and calibrate the display, then run the display and sensor together and collect data. For this system calibration, you will have three certificates: one for the flow sensor data, one for the display calibrated on a benchtop, and the third one for the verification of the sensor and display. You have learned the difference between standalone component calibrations and the calibration of a system of standalone components. You now know that a standalone component is a finished good such as a flow sensor or a separate display. Standalone components have individual calibration certificates. System calibrations verify standalone components when connected together. Standard practice is for calibration certificates to be issued for each standalone component. When requested, an additional system calibration certificate will be issued for the calibration verification of the standalone components connected together. Calibration by Proteus, calibration experts.